Hey everyone, hopefully you're having a good day. My name's Andy. My channel is Finding Value. Today we're going to do our daily technical analysis update of commodities, work our way through the dollar, yields, precious metals, and commodities ETFs that I follow. I'll interject my financial opinions as we go. And if you need help with anything, check out finding-value.com. That's where I dive deeper into these commodity sectors, the companies, the sectors themselves, and then also trainings that we do. We have a question and answer session on the weekends and a midweek update that was released yesterday, which is posted on the website. We do have a coupon special going on. May Day, one word, MAYDAY, is the discount coupon code for this month. Let's dive in. Let's take a look and see what's going on. We've got the DXY that we start at. The DXY did sell off today, but again, we are above a lot of support. We've got support underneath us, this trend line going across, and we've got a major support level at the 101 area. And the 101 area goes all the way back. I mean, this is like the big dog of supports. So, yes, we've got some selling pressure. Is this the beginning trend of something more? I don't know yet, guys. We need to see a big move in the dollar to even hit our support levels. The 2-year yield is selling off. We're still within this pattern here. Now, again, are we going to break to the downside? We've got some time before we hit the bottom trend line. So I'm going to wait. Let's see what it looks like. We are still moving up in this pattern here, and we'll see if we break this with time. The 10-year yield is also a little bit lower, and we've been riding the upper trend line, and it has broken below it. And again, we'll see if we stay below it or if there's follow through on the selling pressure here. 30-year yield down a little bit today, down about 0.5%. And again, we're looking to see what trend or direction yields are going to go. Generally, when yields are going up, oil is usually the driver of that. Higher consumer price index, higher inflation. And right now, yields have been kind of drifting slightly higher, and we've been moving sideways for a little bit here the past few weeks. TYX TNX ratio, we did get a uninversion of the curve, which is generally good for gold and silver. If yields do fall and the curve uninverts, I think precious metals will do some really good things. What this also signifies or signals is a potential slowdown in the market. Is it going to come? I don't know. But we're going to continue to monitor it. We'll see how this moves. And right now, we are still within the patterns of the 2-year, the 10-year. We're still in these patterns here, the 30, but that very well could still break to the downside. And that would be your uninversion of the yield curve. Precious metals go ballistic. And that's why precious metals, I think, are front-running this move. Bond prices, we're up a little bit today. That is a bullish engulfing where it could signal that we get a attempt move for bond prices to go back up and yields to go down. But again, let's see the follow through. But this does look decent for a potential turn where we could see weakening in yields and strengthening in bond prices. In US 10-year, 2-year, 10-year yield curve, we're inverted, but we are potentially getting ready to uninvert. So what does this all mean? Generally, when the yield curve uninverts, that's when precious metals do well. Oil could pull back, and we're seeing a pullback in oil. But again, guys, we haven't broken out of anything yet. So it's all premature. We're guessing at this game, but right now, it's a waiting game. Things are inverted. Wait it out. And we could stay inverted for a period, a pretty long period of time, which we have been. Gold up a little bit, hasn't really moved too much recently. We do have kind of this downward facing flag pattern. You know what? I'll just copy this one here. We've got this downward facing flag pattern that we've got where we could easily break out of this at some point. and it still looks okay. We've got a little bit of selling pressure through here, which generally indicates downward pressure until we turn. Silver also indicating that similar type of a pattern, kind of a falling wedge, if you may here. And maybe we break soon and yields fall and et cetera, et cetera. We could easily pull back into the 26-ish range in the tip of this. Very possible for another kind of pullback there before heading higher. We've got platinum up a little bit, and this to me looks like it's trying to put in a breakout here. And let's hope it breaks out. I'm fully loaded in this stuff. Let's do it. And then palladium still getting a pullback down about 1%. We're back to support of this long-term support level that we've got going across here. So I think we're going to hold here around this general area. And I think platinum's the one that's going to go way up. And the ratio between platinum and palladium is going to be favorable for platinum. It's outperforming palladium. And I think palladium will hold steady and platinum will be the ripper. The ripper. XAU to gold ratio, the gold and silver mining companies up 0.8%. We are still at that downtrend line ready to break. Now, what does that mean? If we get the yield curve to uninvert, if we get yields to come back and precious metals take off, I do think XAU to gold, I think the gold and silver mining companies are going to make some money here. Also, you might see oil relax a little bit in the short term if that does occur. And again, nothing's broken out. It hasn't occurred yet, but it's something to watch for. CRB index down a little bit. I think oil was down just slightly today, but down just slightly. We're up against some support. Overall, though, I think we're going higher overall. Another support region that we're going to get is in this general vicinity here, too. Lots of support through here. And that's probably where we'll find it right where we're at. CRB to S&P 500 down a little bit, down 1.15%. We still haven't taken off yet, which is surprising. I'm surprised we haven't ripped, but maybe that deals with the slowdown in the market. Maybe we are going to get something. And that's where everybody they're all speculating. Does the fiscal spending override the slowdown in the manufacturing sector? It's tough to say here, guys. It's tough to say. You get the stimulative effect from fiscal spending, but then you get the slowdown in the actual economy is occurring too. So it's kind of all masked. GDX up about 0.8%, still trying to break that trend line above us. It does look like it wants to give it a go here at some point. We're just underneath that trend line. GDXJ, the juniors, we got a couple of bullish candlesticks here. It doesn't look too bad. And it's just consolidating sideways. It's waiting for a potential move in the precious metals themselves. And SILJ is just waiting too. It's been consolidating sideways here. A couple of bullish engulfings, but we do have some bearish candlesticks up here as well. So we're kind of fighting back and forth between buyers and sellers, and we're waiting for precious metals to take off. But it still looks good. We've broken out of the pattern to the upside. Crude oil basically flat today. And again, we've got some downside momentum, so we got to work that momentum off, and we'll probably see it trace sideways here or a little bit right above support. That support is $78-ish. TTF Dutch gas ripping it today, up 7.33%, looking pretty good actually. We've got natural gas and Henry Hub also looking good, up 5.5% or so. And that does look like it wants to try to break out. Again, we're working off our inventory levels and production is down. How long will it stay down? I mean, I don't know. We're going to have to wait and see, but this is a good entry point. It's cheap. And that's about the only thing an investor can really say with confidence. It is cheap. And then when people ask, generally it's people who are less experienced, they say, well, when is this going to go? We don't know the when, guys. No one knows the when. No one knows the exact pricing that someone hits. All we can say is with confidence is this cheap compared to history? The answer is overwhelmingly yes. And this is a good entry point, in my opinion, for natural gas. XOP, yeah, you know me, back to the neckline, getting that retest out of the way. And I think we're getting closer. Oil's got to get moving to the upside. We're kind of slowing down in oil. We'll probably see this trade sideways a little bit before heading on higher. That's my guess. OIH down a little bit or up a little bit today, 1.19%. Again, we got to reverse this momentum here. And maybe we get back in this low $300 range, something like that. That's kind of my guess. Sprott Physical Uranium Trust, really solid day today, up 3%. Very, very good day today. Strong closing. It's looking actually pretty good. And it is definitely swaying me to a potential move higher. We've got URA up 3%. It's still basically squeezing in this pattern. We've got Uranium also up today, 3.4%. Looking pretty good. Looking pretty good. We're above support. And then URNJ up 4%, and we're still underneath this trend line that basically we are creating, which is squeezing into this corner here. So maybe we have a little bit longer to squeeze, and then we rip. Very well could be the potential path. TAN up about 3%, likes the lower yields. We know that. We know it likes lower yields. So if we get lower yields, maybe this works its way on up. Copper down a little bit, down 1%. And again, I think we're going to consolidate a little bit with the 3 hump. Look at that. I even drew the 3 humps there. But overall, it looks really good. The deficits are all out in the future. Everything looks good. COPX up 0.3%. Broken out of its pattern. I would just stay long. That's what I would be doing. And we've just been consolidating sideways. We've got lithium here up 3.5%. It is breaking the trend line. It actually looks pretty good for lithium. If we get lower yields, I think this will work its way on up. If we get it. And this is almost a retest of this breakout. And on the monthly, it doesn't look too bad if we can close this month strong. We close it strong, it does look like we could potentially go higher in lithium. REMX also up strongly today. And if we can get a good strong month out of this, you can see that we could be putting in a bullish engulfing this month if we get a strong closing. And I think we could try to work our way on up. We got S&P 500 up about 1%. We're bouncing around here. Again, I would be waiting to see if we can break back up. But again, guys, I'm not playing the S&P 500. It's overvalued. There's no reason for me to be over here. Same with the NASDAQ. There's no reason for me to be over here and try to play this move here. But I do think we have downside pressure. But people are going to say if yields go down that, it's going to be a tailwind behind these. Maybe, maybe not. I would agree if we see home prices come, if they start shooting higher and housing starts to go higher, then yeah, I do think that these could go on up. We've got KRE up 1.6% right against resistance. We'll see if we can break here. Lower yields are definitely positive for banks. Same with emerging markets. It likes weaker dollar, weaker yields. And if we get that weaker dollar, weaker yields, we could see a big upside move. I actually am playing the emerging markets. You guys know on the website what those are. And we're getting a little bit of a breakout here. This is exactly why I was buying what I was buying when I was buying it, because this usually goes up with a weaker dollar, and I want a portfolio that's exposed to stronger dollar and weaker dollar to balance it all out. So this looks good. This looks really good for emerging markets. We've got XHB also up about 1.3%. It still looks bearish to me though, guys. This looks like an inverted flag pattern. So we'll see what occurs. It does have upside momentum from this move here. So maybe we have another leg higher. Longer term, I am ultra bullish on home builders if rates go down. If rates go down, yeah, we're going to build more homes. The affordability is going to go right into the thick of this demand. Moo, loving the lower rates, up 1.8% today. And it's kind of holding on right at support. Iron ore down a little bit, but again, I think we're going higher over the longer term. We've got an inverted head and shoulder pattern that is broken to the upside. Nickel sideways today, but I'm in the camp that thinks that this is going to work its way on up slowly. It's going to bump and grind higher. Aluminum down a little bit of selling pressure. This could see a little bit more selling pressure in the short term. A little bearish engulfing today. Baltic Dry Index up slightly, and it's at support. Looks good. Could potentially go higher. Newcastle coal looking very good. This one looks really strong. Probably my most conviction would be in coal here. And it looks really good. BTC up 3.5%. And it still has a lot of downside momentum. I'm favoring downside to sideways. If it can pull it off sideways, go for it. But still looking a little bit weak in my opinion. You could draw this a little bit different. So one could say, well, you could draw it like this. And we could be kind of breaking down like that. That is a 3-hump consolidation too. It could be a false breakout where we slingshot upward. Let's be patient here. Let's see if we get that follow through. Ethereum also holding on. We are getting a lot of buying pressure. That's why all these wicks are here. So strong support. We'll see if that support holds. And then SMCI up 3.3%. Still a really ugly looking chart here. And then NVIDIA, that looks ugly too. Got lots of selling pressure, bearish engulfing candlesticks all over this place. Those all point to a lower move. So NVIDIA and SMCI do not look that strong to me, but there's been times where I've been showing I was wrong, in my opinion. So we'll see if that occurs. But that's what I've got for today, guys. Give me a thumb up for the content. Subscribe to the channel. And we still have discount coupon code Mayday going on. I feel like I'm off center here, guys. I have to go. Okay, there we go. Just got to go over here. So that's all I've got for today, though. So we'll catch you next time. This is Finding Value.